Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. It's a good deal and helps support the show. Also, head over to thegrizzlygentleman.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off at checkout. It'll leave your face feeling nice and good. What is up, Planeswalkers Theoric 6? Back with some more Magic the Gathering and my light is broken for some reason. Whatever. We'll do it live. Today we're playing Bant Taxes as I hit my light because it... I'm leaving it in because I find it funny. There we go. I'm a professional. We're playing Bant Taxes. It's Death and Taxes, but with a little bit of blue and a little bit of green. Literally, it's mostly a white deck. Don't expect me to play like a bunch of Simic cards in this. It's not the point. It's not the point. The point is that we're getting kind of the best of both worlds. We're having a little bit of Meddling Mage and the Deputy of Detention. We get some Knight of Autumn, some Tristani, and then of course we got some decent green and blue cards over here on the sideboard. It's great. We cut down to... I do not know why there are that many lands in the deck. That was weird. We cut down to 2 Alseids. I hate that. We cut down to 2 Als. Mainly because I feel like this deck has a higher glut of other types of protection. Shalai, for example. Luminous Broodmoth, for example. So I feel like having Al is not nearly as important. And that does decrease the amount of times that we're going to have issues late game where we're just top decking this when I would rather top deck something else. For Charming Prince, this deck, both the blue-white and the green-white Death and Taxes versions have a lot of really good ETBs. So when you combine those, you're very obviously going to want to maintain cards that can bounce and flicker your own cards. Beyond that, of course, you have the ability to gain 3 life against the aggro decks, and the ability to scry 2, just generally, so that you can smooth out your draws in a deck like Death and Taxes. Now, because we wanted to maintain the 4 Charming Prince, that does mean that we went down a little bit on a number of our staple cards. That includes Thalia. Thalia is great. She's not as good against aggro decks. Hopefully, I'm not going to regret cutting Thalia to 3. I feel awful for doing it, but I needed to find room. I wanted to keep at least 2 Tithe Takers in the main. I have a couple more on the side, I think. Yeah, I have a couple more on the side, which I'll talk about in a second. But essentially, I want to make sure that I don't have to deal with annoying flash-based creature decks, because creature decks are difficult for Death and Taxes to beat, generally speaking. Obviously, we have Deputy and Meddling Mage, just generally speaking. But flash decks in particular are just real annoying when you don't have cards like Aether Vial, so that we can cheat our cards into play and put them under, what? Counterspells. Right, those things. So... since we don't have Aether Vial and or Cavern of Souls, we are essentially just going to be using Tithe Taker as kind of a deterrent from our opponent's casting spells on our turn. 3 Meddling Mage instead of 4. 3 should be fine. There are obviously a decent number of decks where we really want to see Meddling Mage, Koth Winota still, but some of the other games, she's not going to be nearly as important, especially in Game 1. Obviously, she's a lot better in Game 2, but we still have her main deck because, well, it's really easy to predict what you're going against, even on turn 1, which is very sad. 3 Kinjalli Sunwing. It's a dinosaur, it flies, and it makes your opponent's creatures come intact. It is great. 3 Militia Bugler. It gets so many cards in this deck. The only things I think it doesn't hit are Thassa, Broodmoth, and Shalai. So literally 6 cards plus the 24 lands. Literally 50% of the deck Militia Bugler can grab, which is great. Deputy of Detention, it just gets rid of something. It can get rid of multiple tokens. It can get rid of a single thing. Obviously, if it's removed, they get that thing back. We're going to try and make it so that that doesn't happen, or we make it so we just don't care. 3 Knight of Autumn. It's main deckable enchantment artifact hate, which is crisp in my opinion. You also have the ability to make it a bit of a chungus, 3 mana 4/3, not bad. And you can just gain more life. There's a decent amount of life gain in this deck. I'm hoping super aggro decks aren't going to, run me the heck over. 2 Shalais, she's great because she gives myself and all of my other things hexproof. She doesn't have hexproof herself, but a 4 toughness, body should be pretty helpful. Also, she has the added ability of making so that if we do end up, what's the word I'm looking, flooding out, we don't, just get super duper sad, because we can at least make our team a little bit bigger. 2 Luminous Broodmoth. If our non-flying stuff, which is, just these 2 things and this, if our non-flying stuff dies, we get it back, which is really good with this. But as I said, I hopefully don't need this, because this is a relatively weak card early on. Thassa, Deep Dwelling. We have a lot of ETBs, like a lot of ETBs. This doesn't have DPB. So this, theoretically, should do real wonders for us. Also, we can use it to tap stuff down from our opponents and make it so that they're just not going to have an easy time attacking and or blocking us. To Elite Guardmage, we gain 3 life when we draw cards. As I said, we have a lot of life gain in the main deck. We shouldn't die to super aggro decks. We'll find out, though. And then, of course, we have Tristani. She comes with lifelink tokens. Wow! It makes it so that we get all of our stuff back, and return all our creatures back, but our deck is full of creatures. And, you know, general boon to our team, plus she's a soldier in a box, which is just great. This is our mana base. You might notice that I'm not running Ancient Ziggurat. I just don't like the damn card. I don't need it. I don't want it. Fuck that card. Onto our sideboard, very tight sideboard right now, which is great. 3 Grafdigger's Cage. Man, there's this one card, it's crazy. It's called Winota. That card. I need to be able to shut that down off the bat. 2 more Tithe Takers, Control, and Tempo. I want to deal with that. 3 Destiny Spinners, great against super heavy counter spell decks, makes it so our creatures can't be countered, and in and of herself, she's a decent body. 2 Lavinia. This is just in case. I feel like Lavinia could be something the heck else, but I don't know what, and this just seems generally fine against decks that are trying to do unfair things. 2 Teferi. Look, I understand it's Teferi, but at the same time, I don't want people casting spells during my turn. That's it. I want to play. You can have your own thing. I'm going to control the game, not you. And then 3 Shifting Ceratops, because once again, counter spells and blue decks can go die in a thorny fire. He says, knowing that he plays Grixis Control, but you know what? I don't play counter spells in that, so we're just gonna hop over into traditional historic ranked with Bant Taxes. I've not played this deck yet. I didn't know what I was going to play today. I gotta brush my hair because it's garbage. It's so bad. It's so bad. I need a haircut. Technically, the haircut place that I usually go to is open, but I don't know if I want to exactly risk it. Is no one playing Historic right now? Thank you. I mean, technically we could do the Historic event, but no. The Goodest Boy? Fantastic game. Going against someone in gold. We have an okay hand. It's obviously not the best, because we do have 4 lands, but the fact that we have Charming Prince and a Hallowed Fountain to start with is nice. Going second, obviously not the best. Looks like this is going to be a fast deck, and it very well could be a Winota deck. So I would absolutely love to see... in this deck I might need to cut down to 23 lands. Okay, it's not Winota, it's just Big Ramp. Which is another reason why to keep Winota in the main. So we're going to scry here. I have no idea what I'm looking for. Probably a Deputy of Detention. All lands going to the bottom. Yeah, I think I might need to go to 23 lands. Wow, okay. Obviously, you can't really make these determinations based on one game, but it ain't looking good, Chief. Nissa on turn 3.
Power surges through these lands. Be wary of the ground.
Yeah, that's a oof. Oh, we're gonna concede. I want to give my opponent as little information about my deck as possible. So, let's see. We're very obviously bringing in Lavinias here. They're just playing ramp nonsense, dude. Bullshit. It's fine, I guess. Get rid of this. See, and this is why you don't make rash decisions after a single game. Sometimes you get hands like last time, and sometimes you get hands like this because Arena hates you and wants you to fail. Am I going to play an Alseid here? No, I don't need to. So here I need a land. I'd like to keep the deputy, but I can't. Need a land. Druid, okay. And a goose, jeez. Oh. So once again, they can play a Nissa on turn 2. Or on turn 3. Why does the game hate me? That's the one thing I want to know. I guess technically I could have kept that untapped in order to double block a land. Which I guess would be worth it.
What a strange and magnificent world. The land fights for us.
What is life? If not pain? What did I do to deserve going against that? No, it wasn't even that my opponent's deck was necessarily insane. Obviously it was. They played Nissa on turn 3 both games. But, no, not you son of a bitch. Arena, why? Why were my hands nothing but lands? Into... Oh, I'm sorry, you wanted what? You wanted no lands? Gotcha. Anyway, Runty Sapien asks, opinion on the threshold mechanic. I like the threshold mechanic. Threshold, for those of you who don't know, is the mechanic where you have some sort of effect, and then you have a threshold effect where this is what happens instead if you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard. I like the idea of threshold. I think that Wizards has moved away from threshold, and I think they're going to stick with Delirium, I think is what that one is. But for what it's worth, if I'm going to see another graveyard-centric mechanic return, I would rather see Morbid. It's not technically a graveyard mechanic, but I really like Morbid, so. That name's great. Baron von YOLO Swag. Hilarious. Let's throw a dab in there for him. I need to react so that I know that I responded to this. This hand is keepable. And I know they're mono even. We play this on turn 1, this on turn 2, sure duty, sure. Ah, they're going first, awkward. Not what I thought. Oh no, come on. This is Izzet Flash. It's Izzet Flash. It has the fucking mutate octopus. Son of a bitch. Oh, it doesn't? Oh, thank you. Well, it still might. Fucking mutate octopus, son of a bitch. Let's just play Thalia. So they can't cast a 3-drop next turn. They can only cast a 1-drop. Because they don't play 2 drops because of this. Yikes. I'm going to jump really quick to Query's question. Since Big Boy Ugin is getting reprinted, do you want to see Big Bolus getting reprinted again? I'd love that. I don't think it's going to happen. No blocks. All right, so it's just aggro. Okay, I thought it was going to be tempo. What is life? Baby, stop hurting me. Stop hurting me. This game, though. You leave my Alseid alone. Rat bastard. Yeah, I'd like to see Nicol Bolas Planeswalker printed again, but it's unlikely he'll be printed for a while. Go on. Yep. I'm fine with that trade. I have a flyer now. I'm gonna go ahead and scry. It is a tempo deck. I have 7 lands. There's only 4 actual spells. I mean, I'll block. I'm fine with that. Can this resolve, please? No, it can't. Okay. I'll attack you for 1. Alright, they're putting Obosh in hands. Watch out, we got an Obosh over here. Oh. If this son of a bitch has a fucking counterspell, you don't you do it. Don't you can dare do it, you piece of trash. I hate you. I hate you. Oh, that? Nah, that's fine. Alright, so my opponent now has Obosh. Which I can't really deal with. So that's awkward. Oh, Spectral Shadow, that's even better. Alright, so I can Bugler. Come on, something good. Bye-bye. Got there. Okay. Easy. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Shit out of here. Fuck. Boom, boom, boom. What do we not need? That's a harder question to answer. Let's say Knight of Autumns. Say Thassa's, a bit of a win more. Broodmoth, bit of a win more. I like Meddling Mage. Thalia's good. These are all good. Alseid's still relatively fine. You know what, Shalai? Fuck off. Well, I want the protection, though. Oh, Knight of Autumn, go away. I'm going second. Fuck it, whatever. Eat my ass. Like, I don't need this. Militia Bugler gets worse, I realized. So I could potentially bring stuff back in. But, because Bugler's a little worse, but man. Sin Pyro asked, favorite planeswalker from each guild color combination, whether it be for flavor, story, whatever, not necessarily associated with said guilds, but associated with the colors. So, I guess that's difficult. Like a Johnny is currently like green-white, but a Johnny Vengeant is probably my favorite Boros planeswalker. This ends very slow, is the issue. But I have so many 2-drops in this deck. Alright, that's not a 2-drop, but it is a 3-drop, so I'll take it. And I might still draw a 2-drop. Azorius is... Fuck, I don't actually know. I'm gonna go and pull up all of the planeswalkers. Scryfall. Type. Planeswalker. Let's sort these by color, shall we? View. Display as sorted by color. Thank you. I didn't get anything. Awkward. I'll flash something in. Oh, no, cycle. Alright. Good, no, good for you. Good for you. Cycling your cards. Good for you. What are these goddamn multicolored planeswalkers? Honestly, Transcendent is pretty cool. This is going to get countered. OG Dovin Bond is also quite interesting. Oh, what am I? It's Venzer the Sojourner. He's so cool. For blue-black, that's also hard. Tezzeret the Schemer is cool. It's got. I gotta go with Ashiok Nightmare Muse. I've actually been like using this card. So yeah, this is just actual like counter burn. I'm gonna cast Guardmage. I'm gonna keep casting spells until one of them resolves. I gotta keep doing it. I mean, Rakdos is easy. It's Angrat the Flame Chain. No fire, no steel. Gruul, also quite easy. It's Arlen Cord. She's awesome. Werewolf Mom. Like, who doesn't love that? Once again, I'm playing Guardmage. Next turn I can cast 2 creatures. I'll probably cast Sunwing first. Thank you, punk. I'm gonna kill it. I don't care if you kill it. I'm gonna gain the 3 life and draw a card. And essentially make you discard a card. So, bite me. Oh, I don't care. You getting the pirate? You bone crush my face. Sure. See, they run out of counterspells eventually. So if I can see what this card is, then I can Shalai, and Shalai will be very helpful. Deputy of Detention, I can use for Obosh. Do I block? I think every time. Come on, offer it up. Coward. Now here's the question. I can play a Sunwing and a Bugler. Or I can play Prince and Shalai. I think I'm going to play Sunwing Bugler. But I actually think I'm going to go Bugler first. Because I think I value Sunwing actually entering the battlefield more. It's awkward. Okay. So, at least they can't play that, so I'm more or less fine. I'm going to take 4 here, which is not great, but it's fine. Right. Selesnya. Selesnya, Johnny Mentor of Heroes, I think. I love being able to reveal Planeswalkers. It's great. Okay, so now I know Obosh is in their hand, so I'm going to go ahead and play Meddling Mage, name Obosh. Obosh, get Frickled. They didn't get to see my Shalai! Ma'am! He wasn't letting me kill him! I say these all in jest. I know I'm a belly-aching asshole sometimes too, so. And one more game. Stop, I'm begging you. Stop. I know I shouldn't be clicking it as fast. It shouldn't fucking exist in the game. It's a bug. It needs to be fixed. Fuck you. Damn it. Orzhov. Oh man, I got a lot of play out of Sorin Lord of Innistrad back in the day. Lord of Innistrad's pretty dope. This hand is pretty fine. Am I just gonna blind Meddling Mage? No, because I played the wrong land. I'm so fucking stupid, dude. God, I hate myself. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Lord of Innistrad. Is it? I fucking no idea. Whatever. I don't actually know what my opponent's playing yet, so it's fine. Gross Spiral. I mean, I assume that. They're probably gonna play like Uro next turn or something. I guess 2 life was worth it. It's got to be Thalia here, right? Slow these MFs down right quick. Is it? Man, I don't like any of the Izzet cards. The 3 mana Saheeli Sublime Artificer, I guess. Let's do this. Then we're going to go ahead and attack. Then we're going to cast Thalia. Because they know about this card. It's fine. Shoot. I'm fine with the... They can't play Teferi. Next turn they can't Time Wipe. So I think I'm going to go with Shatter this guy. Because they can play that after a land. I think here I'm going to play Thassa. So I can get more value off my Bugler. They cannot Settle the Wreckage me. Bounce this. I technically could have bounced Meddling Mage to name something else, but I think it's more valuable for me to just keep the Bugler train going. Next turn, if they play a threat, I can Deputy plus Bugler. Reclamation. Oh, it's Reclamation. Okay. That's good to know. I think I do still just attack. This could be a Settle the Wreckage. But apparently it's not. My opponent's going to go to 2. I mean, Burglar's essentially just a free card here. I just get to dig deeper for something the hell else. Knight of Autumn is pretty strong. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I don't care. Cool. Alright, so we're going against a Reclamation deck. Let's see. I didn't see any counter spells. Just a bunch of... I saw very little this game. Time Raveler, obviously. Each opponent can't cast non-card spells with converted mana cost greater than the number of lands the player controls. Whenever opponent casts spells, no mana. I think Lavinia is still probably fine here. Tithe Taker is still fine here. Let's see. I don't think this deck has target removal. All of this shit's still good. I think Sunwing is relatively weak. Bugler gets slightly worse. And then I think I'm going to cut off 1 Shalai. Because I want the army in a box just in case of a board wipe. So let's go with this. Golgari is difficult. We've got 7 mana Garruk. We have 6 mana Garruk. I'm not a huge fan of Golgari Queen, but we have Relic Seeker and the Unseen. That's difficult. This hand is also difficult. I'm going seconds. I'm gonna keep it. It's greed. But I have Charming Prince. My opponent seems to have kept potentially greed hand as well. Although I assume this is like a green land. No. Ah, they search for us against. Okay, so I can Knight of Autumn to punk asses next turn. We're gonna scry look for a blue land. Not a blue land. In fact, I don't need this forest. I just need a blue land. So they can do that all they want. I plan on blowing it up. Oh, look, it's a blue land. Well, first things first, we're going to attack. I don't need to play the blue land just yet, I guess. Yeah. Just play Knight of Autumn. Does it resolve? It does. Let's go ahead and blow that shit up. I think I have to go with Relic Seeker. I think I used her more than any of the other Golgari Planeswalkers. Well, first things first, I'll attack. Opponent's just on blue here. I'm gonna play a Teferi. Sure.
Trust me, you'll thank me later. Let's try this.
Technically, I could have like bounced this so I could rebuy it and blow up a Wilderness Reclamation, but yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
I'll protect you.
I'm going to name Wilderness Reclamation. Although I guess with Teferi, I don't need to. I'm still going to name it. I'll play Tithe Taker. For Boris, I already said, Johnny Vengeance, I absolutely love this card. Forcing stuff to not untap is great. For Simic, I don't know. They put that to 3 so they could potentially kill my Teferi. But they can't immediately Reclamation, so I don't very well think I care. Oh, no 3-drop on the board right now, except for Teferi. And that would take, like, their entire turn. They can't cast Wilderness Reclamation. They can blow up Zeraldo! Yeah, okay. They blow up Zeraldo. But, can't do all that much else. Just bugle it up. I don't want to use all of my green. I'll use one of my green. That's awkward.
I've got it.
I don't want to play into the Blast Zone. Because next turn I can play Bugler and Teferi. So they can play Reclamation this turn, and then blow things up. Or they just blow things up right the hell now.
Time will tell.
Very interesting. Do they have a counterspell? Is the question. They don't.
I am not
Good for me.
this one out. This might be a bad idea.
I think I'm actually going to go Charming Prince here. Because Charming Prince can flicker this. Flicker this, not flicker wisp. Which can help me out a little. Temio. Getting back a Shadow the Sky.
You would make an excellent informant for my study.
I assume getting back Shadow. No, plussing. Plussing for what? Reclamation? That's seems relatively desperate to me. Yeah. I think, honestly, Tamio Collector of Tales is, I think, my favorite of the Simic ones. Oh, serendipitous. I ended at the same time. It sounded weird. Shut up. Have to add a reaction. Did that? Cool. Cool. Very cool. This one did better than the abzan version. I'd like to thank my lovely patrons for the continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, you'll find links to that down in the description. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Excuse me. If you did, go and tap that like button, add a subscription to your mana pool, cast a comment in the comment section down below, pass the turn and the vid to some of your friends. And of course, until next time, all will be one.